Why was that Russian plane parked in New York for 2 whole days? Let's peel back the layers of this captivating mystery. So at the close of last December, an aircraft, specifically an Ilyushin 96 that's typically reserved for Russian dignitaries, took a 2-day jaunt to the United States and nestled into New York's bustling atmosphere. Now, if you're imagining a hush-hush operation straight out of a spy movie, you're not entirely off the mark. When the plane eventually cruised back to Moscow, the airwaves buzzed with whispers, only validated by the sleuths at flight tracking sites who pieced the story together post-departure. And surprisingly, the Russian Foreign Ministry didn't dodge the intrigue this time. In a rare move, spokesperson Maria Zakharova danced with the curiosity, confirming the trip and acknowledging it involved another group of diplomats. But oh boy, did she hold back the juicy bits, leaving out precisely who these mystery travelers were. So were they high-ranking officials, envoys, or something else entirely? The media didn't skip a beat. Our friends at Newsweek were quick to sensationalize the tale with headlines like, "Putin's special plane visits the U.S., albeit with a bit of creative embellishment." While technically correct, the Il-96 is Putin's chariot of choice. One can't overlook that Russia has a whole fleet of these, synonymous with pivotal missions. Flying such an aircraft into New York, which stands as the epicenter of American diplomacy, begs the questions, who did they meet, and what table-shaking topics were thrown into the room? Remember, these suspenseful flights are anything but ordinary. They whisper the official stances of the Putin administration, elevating these passengers to secret envoy status. Given the United States and Russia are presently at a diplomatic standstill, a figurative ice age, the emergence of such a clandestine diplomatic effort stirs a melting pot of curiosity. These channels of communication, scarce and symbolic, are critical, proving the icy relationship hasn't completely dissolved. The timing of this aerial escapade adds another layer of intrigue. With Donald Trump poised to step back into the Oval Office in mere days, his upcoming policy shifts could veer far from those of his predecessor, President Biden. This transition seems saturated with possibilities. Trump's warm overtures towards Russia hint at an eagerness to possibly pivot U.S. policy, halt military assistance to Ukraine, and foster dialogue with Putin. Putin's Russia couldn't let such an opportunity drift past without at least exploring the potential thawing of relations. Hence, the flying envoy acts as a riveting chapter in the story of U.S.-Russian relations, perhaps ahead of Trump's inauguration. On the ground in New York, the questions pile up. Cryptic as ever, neither Moscow nor Washington is rushing to spill the beans on what went down in those hushed meetings. Even the notoriously inquisitive American media couldn't pry open this Pandora's box, shadowed in diplomatic discretion. The algorithms of flight trackers first bared the irregularity, noting the arrival of an Il-96, a model reserved for those who weave the intricate threads of power and negotiation. And who's to say what really happened at those meetings? With Trump keeping mum amidst a whirlwind of speculation, any sudden public bromance with Putin from the soon-to-be-again president would be nothing short of a seismic jolt to American political discourse. Yet, the collective decision to remain tight-lipped suggests a strategy, or perhaps a necessary diplomatic feint. Reports suggest that Trump and his Kremlin counterparts perked up communication lines far back into the transition period. And while lips might be tightly sealed, signals have crept into the open. Russia notes potential plans from Trump's team ranging from shelving Ukraine's NATO membership to parking European peacekeepers on Ukrainian soil, though still short of satiating Russia's expectations for a more definitive resolution. However, Russia remains cautious without formal diplomatic trails until Trump properly assumes office. Lavrov insightfully encapsulated this sentiment, consistently eyeing the White House for legitimate clues toward resolving the Ukraine quagmire. It's only logical to predict that should diplomatic dialogues revive, mere restarts won't magically eliminate the entrenched U.S.-Russian discord steeped in geopolitical chess games. As promising as Trump's impending influence might seem, the journey back to robust U.S.-Russian diplomatic warmth requires more than just a quick fix. It takes a consistently steady and pragmatic exchange between teams dedicated to melting decades' worth of tension. Regardless, pragmatism and Trump's cadre frequently seem like oil and water, a glaring uncertainty as the world watches America's tightrope walk through international negotiations. Haggling over the Ukraine dilemma is inevitable. Russia's endgame appears ambitiously clear: to shut the chapter on conflict while reclaiming influence over its neighboring region. Yet appeasing both isolationist and allied Western concerns is bound to force a strategic dance of negotiation. Ultimately, from Russia's perspective, the art of international diplomacy reverts back to compromise, no matter if Trump shuffles his cards like a business-savvy negotiator or an avid auctioneer on the world stage. As we wait with bated breath, this curious tale hasn't penned its last page. Whatever happens next between Washington and Moscow, the evolving saga paints a vibrant tapestry of political intrigue that's far from over. Tune in next time as the story continues to unfold.